What is up, winning team? I am back, and here is what you need to know, because obviously there have been developments. And your girl is excited. Listen, it's like, I don't know, 9 o'clock. I've been up since like 4 o'clock. I'm a busy girl. I've got a busy day ahead of me. I've been busy all day already. I've got so much to have to do because finally, we have a game that I can play where I don't have to hold back. I'm so excited. I'm so motivated, you guys. So hard for me sitting on the plane. I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to get straight into it. So there was me, I'm going to give you guys a full update basically about what's next, what's the full context of what's happening, because I've kind of been throwing this in here and that in there. And what's next, what you guys need to understand, okay? Because I'm going to explain to you guys in short terms. There's so much to come and I have so much that I have to do. But like, I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what you need to understand of what's happening here, okay? Okay, so yeah. There I was, it's actually funny because I was going to give myself today. I was like, well, Monday I don't really have to do anything. So I'm just going to take Monday just to like, just relax and I got a message straight from the spiritual world telling me twice, can't remember the exact wording, that I need to get my head in the game, basically. That there's no time to waste and I should have known, right? Because I told the Lord, I was all like praying to the Lord the last couple of years, God, as soon as you give me the opportunity, I'll give it my all. Because I haven't been. I've just been coasting. I've just been making these videos, doing my job like the rest of everybody. That's what I'm saying. It's been hella boring. It's been so boring. I'm like, God, give me something interesting. And if you give me something interesting enough, I will go 110% head first. So here we are. And that's why I have so much to do, because now I've got to do all the things I didn't care to do before, because I didn't care because this place is so freaking boring. The body of Christ is so freaking boring and the world is so freaking boring. But anyway, if you didn't know, if it's your first time and if you need a little bit of an update, long story short, me and Jezebel had an encounter. Yes, the spirit of Jezebel came to speak to me. We spoke. I saw her. And she basically just came to let me know that she's real. And I know the reason why she did that, and this is key, because this is all going to be to do with the power of the people and swaying the narrative of the jury of the sheeple. That's what all of this is about, right? So why has she come to me? What has this got to do with me? What is the context and what does this matter to you guys? Well, she's revealed herself to me because she knows that she has been killing it in all aspects in the world and in our personal lives, and certainly in my life. She has been killing it at swaying the jury of the sheeple. There's two things that she does. She controls people's lives, right, to the point, and I'm going to do the videos are coming, I'm going to do a whole little thing about how to identify Jezebel in yourself, how to identify Jezebel if you're dating, and how to identify a Jezebel that's that's a friend, right? So stay tuned. I'm saying there's a lot of work to be done, and a whole bunch of other things. But I just need to give you guys this first because I always give you guys a debrief after stuff. And I'm talking to you guys as if we're a real life team. Like, I don't know if you guys realize that, but I talk to you guys as if we're a real life team. And I hope you guys take this seriously, because it is. I mean, that's also the funniness of it all, because again, that's what the whole battle is. So to put it plainly, the spiritual battle that we're facing, guys, is quite simply the truth versus the lie. That's what it is. If you look at everything that's happened throughout the Bible, starting with Adam and Eve, it's the truth versus the lie. The truth versus the lie. So we see that from there, and we see that all throughout history. That's always been the way, because why? The power is with the people. That's why God tells us something, the devil tells us something, and then what? We use our free will to make the decision as to which side we're going to side with, and it's down to us. Hence why this is so important, and hence why Jezebel appeared before me, because she was there to acknowledge to me, you are right, because I'm the one who's been swaying the narrative and deceiving the people with lies, right? So that's happened to me in my personal life. I told you guys, I've been sharing all the stories. I've got so many. I can show you stories to the end of time about how many times it's happened to me, that I've been in a situation, somebody else gets there with the narrative first, everybody just goes along with it, and I promise you I could count on one hand the number of times anybody's bothered who's heard a version of the events has bothered to actually come and ask me about it afterwards and actually hear my side of things. I can count on one hand of all the times I've told you guys, right? The number of times. So when I've said all this stuff to you, I really haven't been crazy, and I'm so grateful. Even though she didn't do it for me, she did it because she's having fun and she knows that people are going to be easily swayable because she's been doing it. I was grateful for that experience, to actually finally have somebody acknowledge, not just that, oh, there's some truth to what I'm saying, or there's some idea. No, I've been saying the truth. I've always been allergic to lies. I've always been completely allergic to lies and fakeness. I'm just allergic. It's just not a part of me. And that's why, even being unfiltered, I don't try to filter myself, because I feel like a lot of filtering just becomes fakeness, not filtering. Not to speaking in wisdom or speaking with love, like people like to say. You're just fake now. So the whole thing that we are going to deal with, ladies and gentlemen, right? This is the battle we're facing, right? This is the game we're in. It's the battle between the truth and the lie. That's what this battle is. It always has been. It always will be. Because why? Because the power is with the people, and whoever controls what you think controls what you do. You guys who've been here for years know I've been saying this for literally years. I've been saying whoever controls what you think controls what you do. And that's why I said that the entertainment and media industry, I believe, is the frontline force of the kingdom of darkness, because that's where you go to be influenced, whether it's influence in just watching movies and how they make you feel, or listening to music and how you relate to it, whether it's what the news is telling you is what's happening in the world and what the news is telling you and whatever. I should add the education system to the list as well, to be honest, right? Whatever it is, or it's just, a sports star that you really respect, and whatever they say, you're going to go along with. Whoever controls what you think controls what you do, right? That's the thing. And the difference is, in the two kingdoms, when it's the kingdom of heaven, God is giving you free will, as in he's letting you know that you have choices, and he's giving you the choices to make. When it's the kingdom of darkness, all they're trying to do is deceive you and to push themselves push themselves as the answer. So what I've realized in this whole battle, and what I've experienced myself, and I'm sure many of you have, I feel like a lot of you guys have gathered here because you've actually experienced this, and we all understand each other. We have an understanding. Is I've noticed that whenever you've got somebody who's being deceitful, right? Somebody who's being deceitful, somebody who's a liar will always go out of their way to put the most compelling argument forward. Right, this is why the devil loves things going to court. You see what's just happened? I told you I had no trust in the justice system. And I told you that it was all a scam, because it's done that way on purpose. The jury of the sheeple has been built so that you guys and all of us are so fixated on proof, right, as a form of truth. Even though we all know objectively that there's many things that can happen that we may never have proof of. I.e., even all these poor kids that are being involved with the likes of the Epsteins and the Diddies. Hello? Do you think that those kids knew that they needed to get proof? Like, this is why this whole thing to me is just so wicked and disgusting. And I just honestly hate society. But anyway, so here's the thing. The difference, the truth and lie. The liars are always the ones who, first of all, try to get there first, right? Second of all, make the most compelling story. If you're just telling the truth, right? You're just telling the truth. You're not overthinking anything, because you have nothing to overthink. And I realized that sometimes if you're like the one telling the truth, people will pick apart your story. This happened to me actually just the other day, right? When you're the one who's telling the truth and somebody wants to hold on to a lie they've been told, they'll pick apart your story. You'll say, well, I left the house at about 9:00 to go, and then I saw him drive around the car, and he came out and he was holding a gun and pointing it towards me, right? You're just recalling events. At the time, you weren't thinking, how do I remember every single detail? You're just recalling events. You get asked again by the person, and you say, well, it was around 10:00. I came out of my house, and that person came swinging out of their car, and they're like, well, the first time you said 9. The first time you said 9, so you must be lying, right? Meanwhile, the time was probably like maybe 9:27, 9:37, between 9 and 10. You're not focused on the specifics of it, because you're not the one trying to lie. Do you know who will know? The liar. The liar will know exactly what time and exactly what, because they know what they're up to and they know they're scheming. So immediately when faced with the jury of the sheeple, they already seem like the more credible source. And this is why I believe Jezebel appeared, because she's like, good luck trying to convince these fools, because they're so easy to fool. That's basically what she's saying. Good luck trying to, because this is going to be fun for her. for somebody to actually give it a go and actually come against her, because it's like, good luck. I would like to see you try. I would like to see you actually win with these idiots that are so easy to manipulate and are so easy to deceive. This is what I'm saying to you guys, that it's funny, and I'm finding it funny. And this is why I'm going to laugh. I'm going to continue to laugh at everyone, not because I think I want to see everybody's downfall, but I want people to be so shocked at the level of deceit that you may be under or that's going on in the world, that it wakes you up to the point where you have to just receive the truth. Because another thing I've realized in all of this is that sometimes it's not that people don't see the truth, is that they don't want to humble themselves to receive it. They can see that what you're saying is true objectively, but it's too difficult. It will require too much accountability, or too much it'd be too much of a shock for people to accept. So I'd rather just stick with the lie. So that's why this whole thing that they're doing is so impressive. It's such an impressive gameplay and game strategy. And like, because again, it's always one word versus the next. The other day I was watching this, I was on YouTube, and I saw this girl make a video, and she was saying things exactly like what I say, but they were just slightly off. Just like in the Garden of Adam and Eve, she's talking about how it's important to release these spirits from whatever and whatever. She's talking about it in a witchcraft kind of way, right? And so if you don't know the difference, and if you don't know the truth, you could easily think that what she's saying and what I'm saying is the same thing, but it's not. Just the same way that in Islam, they say, well, we serve the same God. No, we don't. You, in your Quran, says God of Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, Jacob. Anyways, Ishmael's in there. Ishmael's not in the Bible, in the list of the lineage, because he's not the son of choice of the Lord. He's not the son that God had intended, that God had made all the promises to Abraham for. So that small thing, what might not seem like a big deal again, because again, this is what I'm saying, this is why it's all so much making sense. All these things, my entire life, he'd be like, that's not that big of a deal. You're making a big deal out of nothing. No, it's not nothing. It's actually a big, serious deal, because we were talking about the difference between what is God's order and what is not God's order, because anything that is ungodly is therefore demonic and therefore part of the kingdom of darkness. Hello? And therefore part of the kingdom of darkness. So it's not a small thing. It's a big deal. It's a very, very big deal, all these little things. Just like when the snake says to Eve, you will not surely die. Lie, you will not die right now, but you will die in the long run. You're dying. Your dying has started the moment you did this. You may not die immediately, but you are dying. And isn't it funny how, again, the kingdom of darkness is so good at getting you to agree to the things that you can see now? Because she's like, oh, I'm not dead now. The only day she's going to know if she's dead eternally or not is once she's already dead. That's the trap of religion again. And why I think it's genius how these people have worked in the body of Christ. You're here trying to earn your salvation. That's illogical. It's illogical, because that means it's like, I'm a teacher. That means it's like these kids who are still waiting. Next month, the kids in this country are going to get their results. They don't know their options still. And they're not going to have all this time, they can't do anything. They're just coasting along in life. They're going to come in the results day. The results are done. Their fate is sealed. There is no go back, and there is no, oh, if I'd done this. They're going to look at all these things and have all these regrets. It is what it is now. It's done. So for me, I'm like, that's illogical. A loving God would never put anybody through that. A loving God would never do that, because that's unfair. That's unjust. A just God would never do that. And that's unjust. How are you just going to die and then hope to have to calculate the fingers crossed, touch wood that you made it into heaven? Are you dumb? But so I'm saying again, it's the deception. So that's what we're up against, guys. It's the truth versus the lie. And it's the battle in swaying the narrative, swaying the jury of the sheeple. That's what it is. It's about swaying the jury of the sheeple. And it's so funny because a couple of years ago, like years ago now, the way I resolved a lot of my issues with everyone was that I just decided, look, I accept that the only day I may ever get any sense of justice is on Judgment Day. That's why I talk about it all the time, because I'm like, you know what? I've accepted it may never happen in this life. And honestly, I'm willing to accept it and move on with my life. It may only come on Judgment Day. And so that's why I say that stuff to you guys, because I'm like, I've accepted that because that's how well I know this works. That's how many times I've seen it happen. But that's the battle that we're facing. And I'm telling you guys, because you need to be aware that like the people who are the most prideful, again, notice how for, again, years now I've been saying the winners versus the losers, the humble versus the proud, the wise versus the fool. It's always the fools who have so much pride in what they're saying. They're so confident that they know what they're talking about. They're so confident that they know where they're at. You know what I mean? That they've got it figured out. That's what always happens. That's why some of us have been second guessing ourselves this whole time until Jezebel. You're going to hear me say a lot of things you've never heard me say. You're already seeing it as a result, because I've been humbling myself all along, thinking, let me not step forward and say certain things, and in case I'm wrong. Meanwhile, I'm watching the liars running headfirst into swaying the jury of the sheeple. So that's actually exactly what we're up against. And this is why when I say, guys, that the power is with the people, all these people who have done the deceit, or even these Diddy's and whoever's, Epstein's, whoever, even in the body of Christ, those people are not there because of God or the devil. Can I just be the one to say it? It's not because of God or the devil. It's because of us. We platform people. We put our money towards things. We put our time and attention. We do. We as humans. It's the same thing. God didn't banish them to hell. They chose it in the garden. They chose it. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Even Jezebel and Ahab. God didn't come and squeeze the two together. Ahab married Jezebel. Ahab married Jezebel, knowing she was a Phoenician princess. Knowing. I don't know if he knew, but either way, he married her. So again, doing our due diligence. God is a just judge in the sense that he gives us all the information is there, but he's like, you need to go and do the work, and you need to be prepared to humble yourself when you realize you might be wrong. And that's what's actually wrong with this. One of the things that's wrong with society. I think a lot of people don't want to have to go through the process of recognizing they were wrong. And I mean, that's all good and well. But the thing is, there's a cost to pay for it. And just because you're not paying for it on this side of eternity, you'll pay for it on the other side. And the truth is, you are paying for it now. That's why we're all living in the curse of Adam, which I'm going to do a video about next. Anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I've got lots of videos to come. I've got 6 vlogs, I think, in total are going to be coming out for all the stuff I saw in Poland. I've got so much footage. So those are going to be coming out as well. I'm also going to be uploading about a lot of stuff to do with Jezebel. Jezebel and what she's doing is not the only thing the Kingdom of Darkness is doing. But what I will tell you is that it's a very important one right now, especially as men and women, especially against the division between men and women. I can tell you for free, because there are things that are coming. There are things that they are doing that are already being done that are sowing the seeds of division. And the more I just observe the world, the things that I experience, the other things I experienced, you guys haven't even heard about yet. I've only told you basically about one main thing that happened, one of the many things that happened while I was away. There's so much happening, and everything is about convincing you that this is the truth. I'm not going to tell you guys. I noticed again how I always tell you guys, go to the Lord for yourself. That's one of the key things about Jezebel again, because I noticed this as well, especially when it comes to dating, which I'll get into in another video. That a lot of the times, it's the people who want to deceive and manipulate you that are the ones who will promise you the world, and who will be acting as if they love you more than anything. And a lot of times the people who actually value you will actually take more time to actually think about the decision they're making. But we're going to talk about all these things. It's all coming up. Yeah, so stay tuned. Stay on top of it. Stay on top of it, because there's just so much to say. Because I was waiting for the day when this would come, that I would unleash all this stuff to you guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for all of you who support and who are part of the journey. Shout out to the winning team. I know you guys are going through it as well with different things, and I've been through it with things, and it's been hard for us all in our lives, the various things we've been through. But this is our season. We're coming out victorious. I told you guys I played the long game. A lot of people were very comfortable, confident, cocky, prideful, thinking that they were winning against me. Haha. I've told you guys for years in videos that my gaming strategy that I always use is to wait right until the moment of peak pride of my opponent for me to clap back. So that's why I've got so much to do now, because now my head's in the game. Now my head is in the game, and now I'm actually participating. Now I'm actually going to play. I've just been coasting along like everybody else and just throwing in helpful videos for you guys because I love you. And I'm like, hey, while I have to suffer this existence of this boring, stupid, deluded society, I may as well share whatever I can, nuggets of knowledge or wisdom with you lovely individuals who make it worth being here. And on that note, if life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.